Well, hello guys, welcome back. I had a really interesting day today. Odin is very much a god that will push you to examine things and to reset things every so often. Now, we did reset the faith, but he did have me ferreting around the last week or so into corners polite people aren't supposed to go into because he knew, one, I was curious, and two, I wanted to see what these people really believe because what do I actually know that they believe? So we went to white supremacist land. Don't worry, this has a happy ending. And white supremacist land is a magical land where sometimes only English people are white, sometimes white people are dying out, and sometimes white people are the master race, because Woden Allfather told them Sieg Heil. And yet in white master people landia, they do weird things like borrowing from non-whites, cooking non-white food, practicing non-white martial arts, doing things whitey shouldn't know about. And I was just kind of trying to think of that, because white people sure as hell didn't come up with coffee, or pasta, or jujitsu, and yet there it was. So, and Loki's in the back. Or barbecue, you preach it. And I'm nodding, and I'm like, yeah, it's funny how if they want it, it's suddenly white. And you're thinking, no, I'm sorry, that's not where it came from. White people do have cultures, but they're distinct cultures. The Germanic culture, the Nordic culture, to be, more towards Nordic, though they can and do overlap some. Culture from the countries that your ancestors came from. We have those cultures. We have vibrant cultures of food and music and everything else. But there's no such thing as an overwhelming white culture that these people try to present. They tried to present we're all in this together, and I thought, oh no. Originally, the only white people, once they termed the coin, were English people. Germans and company got invited aboard and got invited to America because, frankly, there were less desirable people than us. And that's the happy story of how Germans came to America. It's true, look this stuff up. And they wanted us to be at conflict with each other, not only the countries, and they treated us like separate species, not even separate, humans, but like separate species. Those Italians, those Germans, and they still talk like it at certain places in Europe, like they're a separate species. It's not the same thing as Texas being a whole other country. That's an ad campaign. The other thing is blatantly racist. And the funny thing is, if you study DNA, my dears, there's no such thing as a German gene, or an Italian gene, or a uniquely English gene, or even a uniquely African gene. We're all the same blueprint, and you can do a guessing game of where your ancestors came from, but it's not like there's something in my DNA uniquely German, or uniquely Italian, or uniquely all those way centuries and thousands of years ago Neanderthal, or uniquely African if you go far back enough in your family tree. It's just not there. Maybe 1,000 years from now we'll have the technology, or they'll have scanners or something, but we don't have it right now. And it was interesting. And Odin wanted me to do that because he's like, I want you to see what these people think, the people I attract. And the thing is, as long as they think you're in the same club, they are awfully polite. They're usually well-mannered. Most are well-educated. And they push forward the kind of Stepford wife vibe of we're all one big family, our whiteness unites us, everything. Now, you guys know I find that totally abhorrent. One, because Italians usually aren't counted in that, and two, because I think it's incredibly racist and I think it's silly. Being humans is what unites us. It's like calling, and we've discussed this before, Jotun and Vanir and Azir, different species. They're not. They can all intermarry and have beautiful little divine babies. We backed one horse and we didn't so much back the others. God, well said back here. Somebody's finally happy. And he had me examining that. Now, we went through that because he did say he's my family god. And he's been, as far as Odin's concerned, with my family for a while. Now, one, I know he's a trickster, so I know he's fully capable of lying. But he seems sincere. He's like, I think the best gods for you are these gods. He's not totally blocking other gods this time, but he's keeping a wary eye on them. Gods can be ambitious. Gods can run in and steal the human and run away. They can. We all know this. You can be working very well with your patron, and there's another god coming up and looking at you. Hi! What do you want? I heard you feed gods, and you're nice to gods. Hi! And you have to watch, because sometimes they will come in and they'll mooch. In my experience, when you first get together, that's the hardest time because they're not sure if they can trust you. You're not sure if you can trust them. And sometimes they can be real jerks, to put it very politely, because I think the All-Father somewhere nearby. But it was good, and he does push us to figure out what our truths are and to be honest about things. I'm not going to lie and say I knew him every second of my life. Here and there in places and pieces, I did know him and vaguely worked with him. But I don't have to pretend I have this magical relationship, and I don't have to make up past lives or anything else. If that did indeed happen, good for me, but it doesn't give you anything in this life extra. I know we like to think it does, but yeah. And you know me, I'm the biggest skeptic. I'm like, well, if I had a past life, I should know the language, I should know what skills I had, I should know where I lived, I should know all this other stuff. So if I ever get hit by a past life, I expect to pick up a language, an ability to write in that language, an ability to read that language, da 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 da. So yeah, that's where we are in that. And he's just been very good today. None of the filming went right because he let me toddle off on my own. He's like, okay, you don't want my inspiration and help? By all means, go do it. And he would just give me like a finger tap in the right direction. Which, you know, Odin, his finger tap is like getting hit by a hurricane sometimes, but it was like a really light finger tap. And I tried things, I kept failing. No, part of it, you could be logical and say, well, the camera's old. And that's part of it, but part of it too was I wasn't working with Odin. And when Odin finally came on board, we got close enough to cutting and editing the video, putting music to it, and I was just like, I don't like this. The audio was popping for some strange reason. I've noticed that with my editor, if I edit out the sound, and I did, and then I edit it in another program, I bring it back in, for some reason it will make the music track pop. I'm not sure why, guys, and I can't fix it. I'm sorry, but I can't fix it. And I have to run what I can run on Windows 10 that Norton doesn't come over and know I'm on, so I'm limited in my options. Plus, let's admit it, going out and spending $400 or more for a really professional high-end studio would, one, kill the computer, and two, it's not going to make a camera like I have look any better. If anything, it's going to show up the limitations of the camera even more. So, but we ended up going shopping because I told Lady Freya if she got me the money, I would get her this one ring. And lo and behold, this money came in because eBay had a thing of spend $5.01 and we'll give you a $5 coupon. So when you check out, you'll pay a penny. I ended up paying 7 cents, but she got a ring. Loki got a fox charm, and somebody else got something. Someone got something. I did go back, and unfortunately they wouldn't give me another coupon, but I got some incense that the Allfather had seen. They wouldn't let me check out mixed currencies with the coupon. I don't know why, but they wouldn't. But yeah, I didn't mind. I went back and got him a couple things. So we're having a really good day, and I think that was important for him to do, and that's why Loki's actually been so calm. Loki got to spend a lot of the day with me, so when I woke up, we spent a good part of the day together, but then it was Odin's time. I vaguely felt Apollo, and then I'm thinking, Why does it feel like sometimes it feels like you can't tell which god you're actually feeling? And I thought, I don't know if that's Apollo or is that Freyr or is that Boulder or who am I actually feeling? I wasn't sure. And it wouldn't be beyond Odin to charm us and to have the other Norse gods look like gods or to charm us into forgetting we had other gods. So I am going to work with him. He's still going to be here. I'm still wearing the ring, but it's definitely a thing of I've never had this experience before where a god just put a full stop claim on me. Loki will say he's your patron, but not in the same way. This is kind of a very possessive thing of if he has to scruff you and carry you back to the hall, he will, and he will do it as many times as he has to, and you can sit in that hall and Odin will guard you and nobody else getting near you. They're both just territorial in different ways. Loki tends to fuss and jump in the middle, and Odin will just put up a blockade. And if he doesn't agree with a god or think they have your best interest at heart, or he doesn't like the direction they think you should go in, he won't let them in. Now that's today. Tomorrow could be completely different, and the door could be wide open, so to speak, and he could be letting every god and their mother come in. I don't know. I'm working with Odin. I've found his moods change from day to day. Today is very caring, very protective, very nurturing, very sweet, and very gentle. And I did tell him sometimes I just don't know how to serve him because I feel like if I'm serving the gentle side, I'm disappointing or hurting the warrior, and if I'm serving the warrior, I'm disappointing and hurting the scholar. So it's just going to take time. It's just going to take time. We've been close before, but then something always happens, and this time he's refusing to let anything happen. So that's a good sign. I'm actually happy. But we hope you guys like what you saw. If you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.